Welcome, baseball fans, to Killian Cougar Field for another fall baseball game brought to you by the Florida Sports Programming Network. I'm Uncle Muggs, bringing you play-by-play coverage of today's afternoon fall game between your Killian Cougars and the Miami Springs Golden Hawks. The Golden Hawks are visiting, and it's a beautiful early fall afternoon here in Kendall, Florida. And we're going to bring you a good one. These Golden Hawks are led by David Fanshaw. He is the manager. They had an excellent record last year of 19 wins and 9 losses. And they have a couple returning juniors that are now seniors and are going to be leaders in this Miami Springs 2025 spring season. One of them is Kelvin Pereira, who hit .342 last year. Jordani Gonzalez also hit over .300 for the Golden Hawks. The managers are going over their last-minute instructions from the umpires. Your Killian Cougars are led by Chris Leon in his second year at the helm of the Killian Cougars Baseball Club. His assistant is Abel Alonso, with over 25 years of coaching experience. I'm sure he'll be an asset to this team. I'd like to shout out to our sponsors, Midway Sports. And you can pick up any of these fine-looking baseball cleats at midwaysports.com. At the culmination of the game, midwaysports.com will present the player or players of the game. And we're about ready to get underway here at Killian Cougar Field.
Hey sports fans, are you ready for the 2025 Killian Cougars baseball season? Well, buckle up, because this year is set to be a home run. Miami Killian Senior High School, established back in 1966, has built a reputation for excellence, and their baseball program is no exception. Leading the charge, we have Mr. Chris Leon, in his second year with Killian, but boasting 14 years in the game. A former Coral Reef head coach and Barry University standout catcher, Leon brings a wealth of knowledge and passion to the team. And let's not forget Coach Alonso, a veteran with decades of baseball wisdom. His expertise is sure to be a game changer for our 2025 Cougars. The community is rallying behind this team, backed by our proud sponsors. Shout out to Sports Grill, established in 1987, famous for their mouth-watering grilled wings. And a big thank you to Wolf and Leon, your trusted attorneys since 1963, dedicated to representing accident and injury victims. Medicare Solutions is here to remind you about annual enrollment, and Midway Sports has been serving South Florida's sporting needs for over 50 years. Don't miss a single moment of the action. The Florida Sports Programming Network will be covering all spring home games. So, hit that subscribe button on YouTube and stay tuned for all the highlights and behind-the-scenes action from your Killian Cougars. Let's play ball, Cougars. See you at the game.
Welcome back to Killian Cougar Field. It's Uncle Muggs here for the Florida Sports Programming Network. And here come the Cougars of Killian. On the mound today for the Cougars, it's Sebastian Perez, the right-hander. Let's go through the lineup for the Golden Hawks. The leadoff batter is Justin Mercado. He'll be playing center field, followed by Jordy Gonzalez, who will be playing third. The third batter is Roy Perez, playing shortstop. Adrian Enriquez is the cleanup batter, playing second base. Darian Soto, fifth batter, playing first base. Then it's Andres Suarez, playing left field and batting sixth. Taylor Archeta is playing right field, batting seventh. The eighth batter is Spencer Hilton. He'll be the extra hitter. And behind the plate for the Golden Hawks, it's Christopher Medeiros, and he'll be the catcher for the Golden Hawks. The defense for your Killian Cougars is going to be Lucas Arcaute. Will be playing second base and leading it off. David Builis will be in the DH spot, and he's the junior. The senior, Kendry Blanco, will be playing center field and batting third. Jonathan Acosta today will be playing shortstop and batting fourth. Damian Leyva will be batting fifth, and he is the extra batter. Lucas Fernandez is also the extra hitter, and he'll be batting seventh. And it's Kevin Nunez. Armando Vasquez will be playing left field. Pops is over at first base today. And Jaden Heron is in right field. Phoenix Medina will be doing the catching. And those are your Killian Cougar. It's an October day. It's a great day for baseball. We managed to dodge a couple of the showers earlier today. And Sebastian Perez is on the bump today against the formidable Miami Springs Golden Hawks team led by manager David Fanshaw. Mercado's a left-handed batter. He's playing center field today. The Killian Cougars are wearing the traditional dark green shirts with a big Roman C on the chest and the white pants. And the visiting Golden Hawks are wearing black shirts with gray pants. And Mercado steps in for the first pitch of the fall here. And he takes a ball high. Barely any wind to speak of. A little bit of breeze is coming in from the right field. That ball missed low and away. 2 balls and no strikes to Mercado, the center fielder. Three and 0, and Sebastian falls behind here early in the first. And that'll be 4 straight pitches to Mercado. And that'll bring up the third baseman, Jordy Gonzalez, for the Golden Eagles. Sebastian Perez now working from the stretch for the Cougars. He fires, and there's the first strike of the game. Good fastball. He'll mix in a curve or two, possibly a slider. I know he's been working on a changeup. Phoenix Medina's behind the plate, and that's your battery here at Cougar Field. The count's 1-1. Mercado with a modest lead at first. Sebastian checks the runner. And there's a strike taken. Fastball right down the middle. So Perez is ahead in the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and nobody out. We're in the top of the first inning. There's another fastball, and it's turned on and ripped to left field. It's going to get by Jonathan Acosta that's playing left field. I'm sorry, Armando Vasquez, and that's going to go all the way to the wall. And Jordy Gonzalez comes up with a ripped double down the line. Mercado's going to come all the way to third, but although he was limping there, he was grabbing his hamstring. Nobody out here. It's going to bring up the shortstop, Roy Perez. Yeah, Mercado's going to get a pinch runner, and Gonzalez is going to get a pinch runner as well. He went from first to third on that double, and he came up holding the back of his leg as if it were a hamstring or a possible, maybe I want to say a quad. Nevertheless, the runners are at second and third for the Golden Hawks of Miami Springs, and that didn't miss by much. Low and away, says the umpire. It's turned out to be a beautiful early fall afternoon here in Killian Cougar Field. Sebastian Perez comes set, and he fires, and there's a fastball that's called strike taken. by Perez, the shortstop. Pinch runner for Mercado, who got on base with a ball. He got walked, and that one's in the dirt and blocked nicely by Phoenix Medina behind the plate. That's going to be 2-1 to the batter. Roy Perez, he's the shortstop for the Golden Hawks. Sebastian gets his side from Phoenix. He checks the runner, comes to his waist, and he fires one, and that one's hit right at the shortstop. He comes to third, and they have Nunez is bringing him back to second. He gets the tag. One run is going to score, but there's a bang-bang play at shortstop. Nunez came after him. It was a two-hopper hit to Jonathan Acosta, and he turned and went to third base. Nunez ran the runner back. It was the pinch runner that came in for Jordy Gonzalez. And that's going to make one out. And the Golden Hawks will have a runner on first base. So Roy Perez is on by fielder's choice. This brings on Adrian Henriquez, and he looks like a fourth batter. Big, tall kid, long legs, long arms, and he takes ball one from Sebastian Perez. Roy Perez is on first. There's one out, and there's a nice strike thrown right down the middle, taken by Henriquez. Their ball is lifted into right center field. Heron is going back, and it falls between Heron and Kendry Blanco. The runner on second just stayed there. I guess he thought that ball was going to be caught. It turned out to be good luck for the Cougars and not so good base running for the Golden Hawks. So that's going to be a base hit for Adrian Enriquez, the second baseman for the Golden Hawks. This is going to bring up Darian Soto, the first baseman for the Hawks, and he's batting from the right side. Sebastian Perez pitching from the right side. The Golden Hawks of Miami Springs are threatening here in the top of the first. Already one runner has come across, and there's an opening strike from Perez. Acosta did the right thing in going to third base and cutting down the lead runner. There's a ball hit right at Pops. Pops takes it himself for the second out of the inning, and the runners will advance to second and third. Infield now playing back. The Hawks have runners on second and third, and that's going to bring up the left fielder, Andres Suarez, for the Miami Springs Golden Hawks here at Killian Cougar Field. Sebastian needs to get one out here and limit the damage. One run on the board. He gets it signed from Medina. Didn't like it. He steps off. And he shakes yes, and they finally come to an agreement on what pitch, and he's a fastball. And he tried to frame that one. It was a little bit outside. So it's 1-1 to the batter, Andres Suarez, the left fielder. The Hawks have two outs, top of the first inning, runners on second and third. Sebastian Perez fires low for ball two. We've seen nothing but fastballs so far from Perez. Perez looks into Medina, the catcher. He fires, and that ball's hit slowly to third base. Nunez gets it. He fires across, and it's not going to be in time. It gets by Pops. One run is going to score. The second run is going to score for the Springs. And I think he should have just ate that ball. He tried to force it over there, and it drew Pops off of the base to his right. Couldn't get to it in time, and that's going to be a throwing error. I'm going to call that an E5 for Suarez. And that brings up Taylor Archeta. He is the right fielder for the Hawks. Perez fires high and away. Check swing by Archeta. Of course, that error didn't help. Perez is high in his pitch count. That ball just missed. Fastball up and away to Archeta. 2 balls and no strikes. The left-handed batter, Taylor Archeta, with a runner on second. It's already 3-0. There's a fastball taken. It looks like he was taken all the way. Not the start that we wanted for the Cougars. The bats will have to come alive here if they want to come back in this game against the Hawks. Perez deals, and there's another fastball that just missed. He's got good velocity. Counts 3-1. Perez from the stretch. He gets his sign from Medina. He comes to the waist, and the pitch is swung on and missed. That brings the count full. So full count, 3-2. 2 outs. Top of the first inning. 3-0 in favor of the visiting Golden Hawks of Miami Springs. An error of fielder's choice. Runner on second. He fires, and that one swung on and hit foul. Big cut there by Taylor Archeta. It's going to take a big swing to get the ball out of Killian Field today. The wind is blowing in. It's starting to pick up a little bit. It's steady at about 7 to 10 miles an hour. Coming in from right field like it usually does. Here at the Bricks, the field looks spectacular. We had some rain today, but Coach Martinez and the entire staff here really do an excellent job in maintaining this field as one of the best baseball fields in all of Dade County. Sebastian comes to the waist and he fires, and that ball's taken high, and that's going to be a walk. So with 2 out, the shortstop Acosta comes in, and he'll be facing the right-handed batter, the extra hitter in Spencer Hilton. The 8th batter to come to the plate in this first inning for the Golden Hawks of Miami Springs. Medina gives the signs to Sebastian Perez, and that fastball swung on and hit foul for strike 1. Runners on first and second for the Golden Hawks. Sebastian takes a peek at the runner. He lifts his knee and he throws an off-speed pitch that didn't miss by much. Home plate umpire shook his head no as if it was outside. Medina did a great job in trying to frame that ball and bringing it back in. And it evens the count at 1-1 to the 8th spot hitter, Spencer Hilton, the extra hitter. Perez's fastball swung on and fouled straight back to the Bricks. That's going to be 1 ball and 2 strikes. And if you've ever visited Killian Cougar Field, it's noted for its red bricks around the backstop, right behind the catcher. Very unique touch, gives it a home feel. here's the 1-ball, 2-strike offering. Another off-speed pitch, and it swung on and missed and dropped by the catcher, but then Medina puts the tag on him. 2 outs now.
What's up, brother? How you doing? Everything good?
That ball's taken low for the 9th place hitter, Christopher Medeiros. He's the catcher for the Hawks. Sebastian Perez on the bump for the Cougars, really laboring here. He's faced the entire lineup for the Golden Hawks here today in Killian Field. They've hit him pretty good. He's had decent control, a little bit of bad luck. And finally, another strikeout. And that's going to end the inning. There's been 2 hits, 3 runs for the visiting Golden Hawks. And we'll be right back with more Killian Cougar fall baseball on the Florida Sports Programming Network.
You're watching the Florida Sports Programming Network.
Welcome back to Killian Cougar Field. Uncle Muggs here for the Florida Sports Programming Network. And on the bump today is Anthony Espinoza for the Miami Springs Golden Hawks. Last year's spring, Espinoza went 4-1 as a starter. He started 5 games. He pitched 35 innings and had a minuscule 1.80 ERA. So expect him to be around the plate. Expect the Cougars to have their hands full here today. The leadoff batter for the Cougars today is Luis Arcante, and he'll be playing second base. David Builes is the DH, and he'll be batting second. Kendry Blanco, the senior, is at center field, followed by the 4th batter, Jonathan Acosta, and he'll be playing shortstop today. And batting 5th is the Sunset transfer, the left-handed Damian Leyva. He'll be batting 5th for the Cougars today, followed by Lucas Fernandez, who's an extra hitter. Kevin Nunez, who'll be playing 3rd. Armando Vasquez, Jacob Popowski, which is called Pops. He'll be at first base. Sebastian Perez is on the mound. Phoenix is behind the plate. And Jaden Herden is in right field for the Cougars. Cougars have dug themselves a little bit of a hole here. And they're going to need the left-handed batter, Luis Arcaute. I'm going to get that right before the season's over. Arcaute. That ball swung on and a ground ball to the second baseman, who takes 2 steps to his left, and he bobbles it, but he gets it at first base in time for the out. And Luis Arcaute is retired on 1 pitch. Now batting from the right side is number 10. It's David Builes. And he's batting for the catcher, Phoenix. David from the right side wearing number 10. Espinoza kicks and fires a fastball taken high by Builes. The Cougars are wearing the traditional forest green shirts with the yellow lettering, the white pants with the green pinstripes. Nice fall uniforms. Espinoza working from the stretch and evens the count with a strike taken by David. The bottom of the first. Kendry Blanco, the senior, is on deck. Anthony Espinoza. He kicks, fires, and there's an off-speed pitch taken for a strike. Espinoza shakes off Medeiros a couple times. Espinoza kicks, and there's another off-speed pitch, and it's lifted to the infield. It's called by Enriquez and taken by the shortstop, Roy Perez, for the second out of the inning. I know they're being a little aggressive, and it's good to be aggressive, but when you're behind 3-1 with a good pitcher like Espinoza on the mound, you might want to take a few more pitches just to see what he's got and see if he's got his control with him. Let's not try to help him out. This is Kendry Blanco from the right side. The senior's playing center field today, and there's another off-speed pitch, and that's called a strike by home plate umpire. We've seen just an even amount of fastballs, an even amount of off-speed pitches here from Espinoza. He kicks and he fires, and that looks like a fastball taken low to even the count at 1-1. Espinoza's working from the stretch. He gets a sign from Christopher Medeiros behind the plate, and he fires a fastball, and that's turned on and lifted to right field, and he's going down the line. This could be extra bases. Blanco holds up at first base, and that's a 2-out base hit for the Cougars. We're going to need a lot of that from the senior Blanco this year. He led the team in hitting last year. He led the team in home runs and in almost every offensive category. And here he represents for the Cougars with a base hit with 2 outs off of a very good pitcher in Anthony Espinoza. This is going to bring up back-to-back lefties for the Cougars. The shortstop Acosta takes one in the dirt. Nice block by Medeiros. If Acosta can get on, it's going to bring up the left-handed Damian Leyva, a Sunset transfer, hopefully with some runners on base. The 0-1 pitch is swung on and fouled off at the plate, goes all the way back to the bricks. A nice healthy cut there from Acosta, who had an RBI in Monday's game. They played Keys Gate Charter. They won by 1 run. The Cougars are 3-2 in this fall season. Acosta steps in. An off-speed pitch. He lays off it, and it one-hops the catcher, Medeiros. 2 balls and 1 strike. Kendry Blanco, the senior's on first base. He got on by hitting a nice rope to left field. It's cut off by Suarez because it looked like it was going to be extra bases. Espinoza fires a strike in there, fastball taken. And it's 2-2 with 2 outs in the bottom of the first inning for the Cougars. Down 3-1 to the Golden Hawks, and they're looking to get on the board here. They're going to need a big hit. The shortstop Acosta. There goes Blanco. He goes. The pitch is high for a ball, and Blanco gets in there for a steal of second base. The count is full to Acosta. A base hit will shrink this Hawk lead a little bit. Anthony Espinoza, he shakes off Medeiros, shakes him off again. They finally agree, and time is called by the batter. Just took way too long to get together on what pitch they were going to throw. Blanco's on second base for the Cougars. Acosta takes ball 4. Good eye. So runners on second and first base in the likes of Blanco and Acosta. And that's going to bring the left-handed hitter, the recent Sunset transfer, Damian Leyva, wearing number 26. And he's the extra hitter today for the Cougars. Good time to say hello right here. And he takes that off-speed pitch for a ball low. Wasn't too happy with that call. Blanco with the lead off first. Roy Perez shadowing him at shortstop. Espinoza looks and he fires that one in the dirt. It goes off of Medeiros' chest and he fires to second. Acosta gets there. Blanco goes to third. And Leyva with a chance to get a couple runs here with a base hit. Anthony Espinoza on the mound and that one swung on a good, healthy swing, and it goes all the way back to the bricks. And I believe the count is 2-2. Leyva takes his time getting back in the box. Espinoza likes the call from Medeiros, and that off-speed pitch is high. And now the count is 2-2. We have Deuces Wild here in the bottom of the first inning with Cougars on second and third. If Leyva can get on, Lucas Fernandez is on deck. And there's a ball that's hit foul. Woke up everybody in the Cougar dugout. Leyva with a chance to put the Cougars on the board here and answer back to the 3 runs that were put up by the Hawks. Espinoza fires, and there's a ball, and it's hit high in the right center field. Mercado's going back, and he camps out, and he's under it, and that's the third out of the inning. But 1 hit, 2 runners left on base for the Cougars. We're going to step aside for a moment and come back here to Killian Cougar Field for more fall baseball on the Florida Sports Programming Network. Welcome back to Killian Cougar Field. You're watching Killian Cougar Fall Baseball on the Florida Sports Programming Network. I'm Uncle Muggs bringing you fall action from the Killian Cougar Field here in Kendall, where it is the top of the second inning, and the visiting Miami Springs Golden Hawks are up 3-0 on the home team, the Killian Cougars. The Hawks batted through the lineup, and this is the leadoff batter again, Justin Mercado, who got walked the first time, and he swung at that fastball and swung at nothing but air. Sebastian Perez is still the pitcher for the Cougars. Phoenix Medina's behind the plate. Jacob, Lucas, Jonathan, and Kevin make up the infield, and there's an off-speed pitch that's taken for a strike. Jaden in right field, Kendry Blanco's in center field, and Armando Vasquez is in left. Perez throws a fastball in the dirt, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike. The Hawks got their runs by means of a fielder's choice and a base hit. Another off-speed by Perez, another off-speed pitch, and it's fouled back to the bricks. And that evens the count at 2-2. Perez shakes off Phoenix Medina, the catcher, and he's working from the full windup. Comes to the waist and kicks, and that's ball 3 in the dirt. It's a full count to the leadoff batter, the center fielder for the Hawks, Justin Mercado. And that's ball 4. Mercado, that's full count. Turned out to be a nice afternoon here in Kendall. And that ball's taken for strike 3, and that's a strikeout. Looking. Good pop on the fastball. I mean, Perez hasn't been wild. He's had some control. The pitches that he didn't miss by much. And this is going to bring up the right-handed batter, the third baseman for the Golden Hawks. It's Jordy Gonzalez. Jordy hit a hard double down the left field line, and he comes out swinging at the first pitch. He really smoked one down the left field line, and that one's thrown in the dirt to even the count. Vasquez had to turn around and start heading for the fence. The shortstop, Roy Perez, is on deck. There's another strike called, taken by Gonzalez. Sebastian Perez. There's a, ooh, he really wanted that one. That didn't miss by much. Even the count at 2-2, but Phoenix Medina was already stepping out of his crouch and getting ready to fire down to Kevin Nunez at third base. Let's do it again. Here comes Sebastian, an off-speed pitch, and that's taken high by Gonzalez, and that's going to fill up the count at 3-2. The pitch from Perez is low and away, and that's going to be a ball 4 to Jordy Gonzalez with 1 out. Roy Perez hit the ball hard his last time up. He got on base by a fielder's choice and then scored a run. That ball's low, taken by Perez. Gonzalez is on first with a decent lead. And he's not going. That ball swung on and hit in between the 5 and the 6 hole. Gonzalez is going to stay at second. And another hard hit ball the other way by the shortstop. And he's had a couple good swings already today. We're going to have a runner come in for the shortstop who came in a little lame in the first inning when he had to run from first to third. And this is going to bring up the second baseman and fourth batter, Adrian Henriquez, for the Golden Hawks, with runners on second and first in an already 3-0 ball game in favor of the visiting Hawks. And there's a fastball taken for a strike. 1 out here in the second. Enriquez is a big fella. Strong kid. That ball's low and away. Runners on first and second for the Hawks. Sebastian Perez, the pitcher for the Cougars, trying to work his way out of a jam here with 1 out in the top of the second. He fires an off-speed pitch, and it swung through by Enriquez. Took a big cut of that one. Enriquez digs in. Perez gets his side from Medina. Takes a peek at the runner at second. Looks back again. Lifts his knee and throws in the ground. The runner goes to third. Medina fires to second. Short hop caught by the second baseman, Alcarte. It's going to be a 2-2 count, and the runners will advance. Phoenix had to short hop that pitch, and then he fired to second, which was the only chance that he had, was to get the runner, Roy Perez. 2-2 to the second baseman, Henriquez. Perez kicks and fires another off-speed pitch, and he didn't miss by much. The count is full. First base is empty. Time's called at the plate. We're at Killian Cougar Field for fall baseball. You're watching on the Florida Sports Programming Network. Remember to subscribe, hit the like, hit the thumbs up on YouTube. That fastball's taken. And it's going to load up the bases with one out. Folks, remember, we do this because there's some parents that can't make it to a 3 o'clock game. Killian Cougar Field does not have lights. There's some grandparents, family members, siblings that aren't going to be able to make these games. So the Florida Sports Broadcasting Programming Network will be bringing these games and spring games mostly for the folks that can't be here to watch them. So it's our pleasure to bring you this programming. And there's a fastball that's taken for a ball by the first baseman, Soto. So subscribe and like and tell your friends. Corners are in for Coach Chris Leon. That ball's popped up and going behind for a strike into the crowd. Darian Soto, the batter from the right side for the Eagles, for the Hawks, the Golden Hawks. And he grounded out to Pops unassisted the last time up. There's one out, the base is loaded. Sebastian Perez trying to limit the damage, keep it to 3-0. He's from the stretch, he comes to the waist, and that off-speed pitch has been effective for him today. And he's quickly ahead in the count to Darian Soto. We need a non-contact out or a fly ball to the infield right here to limit the damage for the Cougars. He gets a sign from Medina. Brings his knee up and fires a fastball low and away. I thought he'd give him the off-speed pitch again. Maybe it's coming now. Three to 0. Bases loaded with Golden Hawks, and that fastball is fouled at the plate, says the home plate umpire. Dropped by Medina. But I guess Soto got a piece of it. One ball and two strikes. One out. There's an off-speed pitch, and it's taken. Showing good discipline there, taking that pitch. It looked really good. I believe it's 3-2. The scoreboard's not working today. Sebastian Perez on the mound for the Cougars. He fires one, and it's lifted to shallow right center field. Jaden Herden is under it. The runners are going to tag with one out. Herden's throw to the plate is one hop and caught by Phoenix. The runners stay there. A good, strong throw by Herden. The sun sets, and it could bother the right fielder a bit. But Herden had the sunglasses on. He was well camped out. The ball wasn't hit that deep. And that's going to bring up the left fielder, Andres Suarez, for the Golden Hawks of Miami Springs with two outs and the bases loaded. Sebastian Perez, the pitcher for the Cougars, fires high. And he's had pretty good control today. That one got away from him a little bit. But other than that, he's been around the plate. He's been effective with the off-speed pitch. He does have 3 walks, 3 strikeouts. There's a fastball, and it swung on and hit to right field. Herndon plays it on a hop. 1 run is going to score. He fires home. Another perfect throw. 1 hopper to Medina. Jaden Herndon showing off his arm out there in right field. But another run for the Golden Hawks of Miami Springs. And that will bring up the right fielder, Taylor Archeta. And he's coming from the right side. Archeta walked the last time up. And that ball's lifted high in deep left center field. Vasquez calls it, and he makes the 3rd out of the inning. But not before another run on 2 hits. Bases left stranded. Bases loaded for the Hawks, and they only scored 1 run there. And we'll be right back with more Killian Cougar Fall Baseball on the Florida Sports Programming Network. Back to Killian Cougar Field. It's Uncle Muggs here for the Florida Sports Programming Network. And we have a 4-0 fall ball game here at Killian Cougar Field between the Miami Springs Golden Hawks and your hometown team, the Killian Cougars. Up to bat for the Cougars in the bottom of the 2nd inning will be the junior Lucas Fernandez, followed by Kevin Nunez, Armando Vasquez, and if they get on, it'll be Jacob Popowski. And the Cougars really need to get the leadoff runner on here if they want to scratch their way, claw their way back into this game. Lucas Fernandez is the brother of Zachary Fernandez. Lucas had a game-winning hit in the opening game of this fall season against ABF Academy, and he broke open a 2-2 game with a 2-run double, and he's looking to stay hot here in the fall. He swings at the first pitch, and he fouls it straight back for strike 1. Anthony Espinoza, still the pitcher for the Hawks. He's working from the stretch. That fastball's taken high for ball 1. The count is 1-1 to Lucas Fernandez. And there's a drive that loops over the shortstop, and it's going to fall in for a base hit for Lucas Fernandez. A nice solid at bat. Caught it a little bit on the end of the bat. But nevertheless, it's a base hit for the junior. That's going to bring up the 3rd baseman, Kevin Nunez, for the Cougars. Lucas with a moderate lead on first base. Espinoza fires, and it's taken for ball 1. Nunez wearing 11, playing 3rd base today. Lucas with his lead on first. Acosta fires. Espinoza fires an off-speed pitch, and Nunez swings through it to even the count. Espinoza has good control of both pitches that we've seen. Fernandez at first. Espinoza takes a peek at him, and a ball that's hit off the home plate. It's hit high to the 3rd baseman, who goes to second for 1, and is safe at first. A good hustle there by Kevin Nunez to not let that double play happen. It's going to bring up the left fielder, Armando Vasquez. Nunez hit that ball almost off of home plate, and that ball's in the dirt. Ball bounced straight up in the air. Caught by the third baseman, Jordy Gonzalez. He went to Enriquez for one. And when they tried to go to Soto for two, it was too late. Nunez had hustled down the line. Espinosa throws a ball down low. And it's quickly 2-0 to the left fielder for the Cougars, Armando Vasquez. Espinosa checks in with his catcher, Medeiros. They come to an agreement, and it's a fastball that's taken for strike two. Apologize, strike one. 2 balls and 1 strike to Armando Vasquez. Nunez takes a lead off of first. He has that sliding mitt on, so if he goes, he won't jam his finger. He doesn't go, he stays, and that's swung through, and strike 2 for Vasquez. Took a nice healthy cut at that one. I think he was trying to cut the lead in half with one swing of the bat. Nunez takes a lead on first. Espinosa digs in and throws that off-speed pitch high, and the count is full to the left fielder, Armando Vasquez. Three and two with a Cougar on first base. And that ball's roped in between the 5-6 hole, but a great play by the third baseman who fires to Enriquez, who comes to second for a 5-4-3 double play to end the inning for the Cougars, who leave one man on one hit. And we'll be right back with more fall baseball on the Florida Sports Programming Network. Welcome back to Killian Cougar Field, everyone. It's Uncle Muggs for the Florida Sports Programming Network, bringing you fall baseball from Killian Cougar Field. The new pitcher for the Cougars is Ryan Llambas. He saw some action against Keys Gate Charter. Phoenix Medina is still behind the plate. Pops is playing first. Lucas is at second. Jonathan Acosta is at shortstop. Kevin Nunez is in third base. Armando Vasquez is playing left field. Henry Blanco still out in center. Jaden Herden is in right field. And it's going to bring up the 8th place hitter for the Golden Hawks. It's Spencer Hilton from the right side. And he struck out his last time up against Sebastian Perez. So what we know about Llambas, good control, good fastball, 2 or 3 pitches, and a good competitor. The 0-1 is taken outside by Hilton. And he's quickly ahead of Llambas. 2 balls and no strikes. Llambas is working from the full windup. He comes to the waist and his knee ups, and there's a ground ball hit right back up the middle over to Acosta, who ranges to his left and fires and gets him by 2 steps for the first out of this 3rd inning. Nice play there by Acosta, moving to his left, staying down. Got a good hop. His field is always is in excellent condition thanks to Coach Eric Martinez. Does a great job on the lawnmower. And the boys really take pride in this field. It's been one of the best fields the last few years in Dade County. That's going to bring up the left-handed hitting. The left-handed hitting Medeiros, the catcher. Ryan Llambas on the bump for the Cougars, and that ball's lifted and hit off the screen, foul. The Cougars are going to need some solid defense. Of course, they're going to need the seniors to step up, Blanco and Fernandez. They're going to need some juniors, as well as a good catching from the platoon of catchers that they have, and that ball swung on and hit off the net. John Chensi, Phoenix Medina, Cueto, they're very deep at the catcher position. It ought to be an interesting spring in this new 3A District 16 for the Cougars. Quickly, there's 2 strikes to the catcher, Medeiros. That ball's taken low, and it's 2-2 to Medeiros. Yamba's looking for a strikeout here. Medina gives him the sign, and he kicks and taken high fastball. And now the count's full. Bases are empty. Yambas comes from the full windup, and that fastball's just missed high and away. And he's going to walk Medeiros, and it's going to bring up the center fielder. So 1 out with a runner on for the Hawks. I apologize. This is Spencer. It's hard to tell in the fall. They don't have numbers. So you know who they are the first time through the lineup, but after that, if you're not paying attention, you don't know who's hitting. There's no numbers on these guys. I know Yambas is pitching. And that ball's lifted into the right center field. Blanco comes in, makes a sliding try for it. Fires into second, and it gets away from the shortstop, Acosta. Blanco made a good effort to get that sinking liner off the bat of Spencer Hilton. It's going to be a base hit. The Hawks are going to have runners on first and second. It's only the top of the 3rd inning, and it's 4-0. And now this is going to bring up the center fielder, Justin Mercado. Justin walked and struck out. Yamba steps off for a minute. Takes a deep breath. Miami Springs was 19-9 last spring. They lost to Keys. They lost to Matterlex, and that ball's lifted into right center field. The line drive. Hernan comes up with it and fires home. Medina knocks it down. And the bases are full of Hawks with 1 out in the top of the 3rd inning. Couple hard hit balls, including the out. And that's going to bring up the 3rd baseman for the Hawks after we get a pinch runner for Mercado. It's going to bring up the 3rd baseman, Jordy Gonzalez, who led off with a double and then got walked. Yambas is going to have to be careful with him here. You don't want to pitch him anything inside. There's an off-speed pitch taken for a strike. One out in the top of the 3rd. The bases are full of Golden Hawks. We're at Killian Cougar Field for a fall baseball game between the Killian Cougars and the Miami Springs Golden Hawks. Yambas pitches, and that ball's hit to the second baseman, who turns. He fires to Acosta. Acosta to Pops for a 4-6-3 double play to end the inning with no harm done. Your Cougars are going to the bottom of the 3rd inning. Miami Springs 4, Killian 0. You're watching Killian Cougar Fall Baseball on the Florida Sports Programming Network.
Hey sports fans, are you ready for the 2025 Killian Cougars baseball season? Well, buckle up, because this year is set to be a home run. Miami Killian Senior High School, established back in 1966, has built a reputation for excellence, and their baseball program is no exception. Leading the charge, we have Mr. Chris Leon, in his second year with Killian, but boasting 14 years in the game. A former Coral Reef head coach and Barry University standout catcher, Leon brings a wealth of knowledge and passion to the team. And let's not forget Coach Alonso, a veteran with decades of baseball wisdom. His expertise is sure to be a game changer for our 2025 Cougars. The community is rallying behind this team, backed by our proud sponsors. Shout out to Sports Grill, established in 1987, famous for their mouth-watering grilled wings. And a big thank you to Wolf and Leon, your trusted attorneys since 1963, dedicated to representing accident and injury victims. Medicare Solutions is here to remind you about annual enrollment, and Midway Sports has been serving South Florida's sporting needs for over 50 years. Don't miss a single moment of the action. The Florida Sports Programming Network will be covering all spring home games. So, hit that subscribe button on YouTube and stay tuned for all the highlights and behind-the-scenes action from your Killian Cougars. Let's play ball, Cougars. See you at the game.
Welcome back to Killian Cougar Field for some fall baseball here on the Florida Sports Programming Network. We're bringing you a fall game early October. It's a beautiful early fall afternoon here in Kendall. And the Golden Hawks from Miami Springs have come down here to Kendall to pay a visit to the Cougars. The bottom of the third inning, the Cougars are down 4-0, and due up for the Cougars is the first baseman, Jacob Popowski, followed by Jaden Heron, and then it's the leadoff batter, Luis Arcaute. And the Cougars are going to need some base runners here if they want to scratch and claw their way back into this game. The wind's died down a little bit, but it's coming right in from right field. The pitcher, Anthony Espinoza, was the starter. He's still in the game for the Golden Hawks. And that ball's lifted off the screen for a strike, a foul ball. Jacob had a home run last year in the spring. He got hit by a pitch and walked in the game against ABF. And that little check swing goes right by the mound. The shortstop, Perez, can't handle it, and Pops is going to get on base by way of an excuse me single that just got right by the pitcher, and the shortstop couldn't handle it. I'm going to give him a hit on that one. Pops hustled down the line. That's going to bring up the left-handed batter, the right fielder who showed a good arm, Jaden Heron. Pops on first. Pops is not a threat to steal, but you never know nowadays. And that ball swung on and all the way back to the bricks. Cougar Field known for the red bricks behind the backstop. Unique to this baseball field. Pops is on first. The right fielder, the senior, Jaden Heron, takes that off-speed pitch and hits it almost in the same spot off the net. Quickly, 2 strikes to Jaden. Anthony Espinoza, a good pitcher for the Golden Hawks. Went 4-1 last year with 5 starts. Pops is on first, and that ball's hit to the first baseman, who catches it on a short hop, throws to second, and only one way to go, and to get the forced out at second base was Pops. But the first baseman had to range to his right side 4 or 5 steps and made a great short hop catch for the force out at second. It's going to bring up the leadoff batter, Luis Arcaute. He grounded out to second base last time. Got a big hole over there now. Jaden is a threat to steal. And that ball from Espinoza is taken high. So Jaden Herron. Jaden Herron. A definite threat to steal, but not that pitch. Taken low by Lucas. And quickly 2-0. Let's see if Coach Chris Leon has something on here. Maybe a hit and run, something to get his team going. Maybe just a straight steal, a throw over by Espinoza. Jaden is safe. The wind's starting to pick up a little bit. I'd call it a breeze. Coming in straight from right field. Runner stays. That ball's taken for a strike. Espinoza showing good control, not afraid to come over the plate. The left-handed batting Luis Arcaute swings in a foul ball at the plate. And that evens the count at 2-2 with one out and a runner on first for the hometown Cougars. Espinoza gets his sign from Medeiros. Swung on, driven, and it gets past the second baseman. Herron's going to hold up at second, and that's going to be a base hit for Luis Arcarte, the second baseman for the Cougars. That's going to bring up the designated hitter for the Cougars, David Builes. He flied out to the shortstop the last time up. He's the second batter from the Cougars, wearing number 10. Jaden always a threat to steal. He's at second base. And that ball's lifted into right field, into left field, I'm sorry. Left fielder's coming over. He's got plenty of room, and he catches it. It's Andres Suarez who makes the play. Lula's swinging at the first pitch. Now there's two outs, and it's going to bring up the senior, the veteran, the center fielder. All right, we're going to have a mound visit by the pitching coach, and we're going to take this time to talk about our sponsors. Let's start off with the yummiest one of all, Special Grilled Wings Sports Grill, established in 1987. They're known for the great food, good drinks, good friends. They're right down the street on 97th Avenue. And you should go in there and try those wings. They're mouth-watering. Special thank you to the attorneys Wolfson and Leon since 1963, representing accident and injury victims. Give them a call if you've been involved in an accident. This is Uncle Muggs for the Florida Sports Programming Network, bringing you Killian Cougar Fall Baseball from Killian Cougar Field. It's a 4-0 game in favor of the visiting Golden Hawks. And up to bat now is the senior, Henry Blanco, who led the Cougars in almost every offensive category. Jaden Herron's in second base. That ball's taken low. Pop started off the inning with a solid base hit. Well, it was a check swing base hit. Nevertheless, he got on base. A fielder's choice got him out at second. After that, a solid base hit by Lucas Arcarte. And we have Cougars on first and second with two outs here in the bottom of the third inning. Espinoza comes set, fires, and a strike taken. It's 1-1 to the senior center fielder. The shortstop Acosta's on deck. If Blanco gets on, he'll have a chance to get some RBIs here for the Cougars. Espinoza takes a look at Herndon on second, fires an off-speed pitch, and it's lifted in left field. Suarez is under it, and he catches it easy for the third out of the inning. One hit, two runners stranded. It's still 4-0 in favor of the Golden Hawks. You're watching Cougar Fall Baseball on the Florida Sports Programming Network. Welcome back to Killian Cougar Field for some fall baseball between the Hawks, the Golden Hawks of Miami Springs, and your hometown team, the Killian Cougars. It's a 4-0 baseball game. It's a beautiful fall afternoon here in Kendall. And on the mound for the Cougars, it's Ryan Llambas. And batting for the Golden Hawks, it's Roy Perez, the shortstop, that takes a fastball high. And we're in the top of the fourth inning. The manager for the Golden Hawks is David Fanshaw. Saw him just jog by there a moment ago. Llambas working from the full windup. He throws that off-speed pitch high for ball one. Tell you, after all the clouds that we had today, there were some storms here in Dade County. It turned out to be a beautiful afternoon for baseball. Couple changes on the defense as that ball's taken low by Perez. Damian Leiva's playing first base now for the Cougars. Acosta moved to third base. Jaden is still in right field. Kendry Blanco's in center. I'm not sure if Armando Vasquez is still in left field. He got brought in as well. Llambas throws and that ball's hit on the ground. Leiva makes the play unassisted by himself. And there'll be a one quick out here in the top of the fourth inning for the Cougars. That's going to bring up to bat the second baseman, Adrian Henriquez for the Golden Hawks. First time up, a nice solid base hit, an RBI, and then he got walked, and that ball's taken low. We're in the top of the fourth inning. It's 4-0 in favor of the visiting team from Miami Springs. Ryan Llambas on the bump for the Cougars, and he fires a strike, a foul ball off the screen. Evens the count at 1-1 to the second baseman, Adrian Henriquez. There is some action down in the Golden Hawk bullpen. We'll probably see a new pitcher come in for Anthony Espinoza, who's pitched a 4-inning shutout today. He's thrown a gem. Here comes Llambas with the pitch, and that one's fouled on and going out of play. The count will remain the same here at Cougar Field. All right, the second baseman, Adrian Henriquez, steps in for the Hawks. Llambas on the mound for the Cougars. He gets the sign from Phoenix Medina, and it's an off-speed pitch that's taken high for ball two. And the count is 2-1 to the second baseman, Henriquez. Llambas works from the full windup. He lifts his knee, and that ball's hit on a rope and up in the air. What a catch by Luis Arcarte. Lewis climbed the ladder there to make an outstanding play at second base for the second out of the fourth inning for the Cougars. A much-needed defensive play. Maybe that can turn the Cougars around here. Wow, he timed that jump perfectly. That ball was hit on a rope. Lucas was able to elevate and time that catch for the second out here in the fourth inning, and it's going to bring up Darian Soto, who is the first baseman. He's grounded to first, and he's flied to to right field. So if I'm the Cougars, I'd be shading him over to right field a little bit. And that ball's lifted to the right side. It's right to the pitcher. He gets called off by the first baseman, Leyva, and he takes over. And a shutdown inning for the Cougars. No hits, no runs, no errors. And we head to the top of the 5th inning here at Cougar Field. You're watching fall baseball on the Florida Sports Programming Network. Welcome back to Killian Cougar Field for some fall baseball on the Florida Sports Programming Network. We have a 4-0 fall game between the Miami Springs Golden Hawks and your hometown Killian Cougars. And the new pitcher for the Golden Hawks is Josiah Acosta. Due up for the Cougars in the bottom half of this 4th inning is the left-handed batter, the shortstop, Jonathan Acosta, followed by Damon Leyva, who's also a left-handed hitter. And Lucas Fernandez will bat third. And if anyone gets on, it'll be Kevin Nunez, the third baseman. So Acosta walked his last time up. They're going to close the book on Anthony Espinoza. He pitched 4 excellent innings for the Hawks. And no surprise, he was 4-1 on the season in the spring last year. And let's see what Josiah Acosta has in his sleeve against the Cougars. He throws that fastball in the dirt for ball 1. That ball's taken for a ball as well. No lights here at Killian Cougar Field. The count goes to 3-0 to the left-handed batter.
Oh, here it comes. Let's get it started, baby. Let's go. One at a time. All right, all right.
All right, that's all we needed. We needed a base runner here. The fans like that. I'm sure Coach Leon wants to get something going here. Be nice to get a couple runs on the board for the Cougars.
Let's go, 2-6. Let's go, baby.
Acosta puts on the sliding mitten. That brings up the Sunset Night transfer, Damian Leyva, who's now playing first base, and he gets barrels on that one just under it to Taylor in right field, and Archetta makes the play for the first out of the inning. First pitch swinging there for the lefty Leyva. It's going to bring up Lucas Fernandez, who's the extra hitter today, but you can see him in left field. You can see him at third base on occasion. Acosta on first. Not a big lead. Acosta, the pitcher, throws one, and it's fouled back for strike 1 to Fernandez. Four to 0 here in the bottom of the 4th inning. A shutdown inning, the last inning. Nice double play. The inning before. And that ball's taken for a strike. So Fernandez is in a hole here, 0-2 with Acosta on first base. Acosta, the runner for the Cougars. Acosta, the pitcher, tries to pick up Acosta, the runner. Tries to pick him off first. Josiah Acosta is the pitcher for the Golden Hawks. And that's off-speed pitch, and just caught a piece of it to stay alive was Lucas Fernandez, the junior third baseman. Just off the end of the bat. One out here in the bottom of the 4th. Let's see if Coach Leon gets Acosta in motion. They desperately need runners to get in scoring position. Acosta, the pitcher, fires an off-speed pitch, and hanging tough is Lucas Fernandez at the plate. He fouls one back. The count remains at 0-2. The Golden Hawk fans are wanting a strikeout here. Fernandez looking to stay alive. The fastball, and he hits another one into the screen. If anything, he's making Josiah Acosta work here in the fourth inning, throwing more pitches than he needs to. Jonathan Acosta's at first base for the Cougars. Let's see if Coach Leon puts him in motion. Josiah Acosta shoots over to first again to try to pick him off, but he's back safely. Lucas Fernandez, the junior. Josiah Acosta takes a peek at Jonathan Acosta. He kicks and deals, and that off-speed pitch is taken. Caught looking is Lucas Fernandez for the second out of this fourth inning. That's going to bring up the third baseman, Kevin Nunez. Nunez got on base by a fielder's choice the last time up. We're going to need some patience here from the Cougar hitters, trying to work Acosta. Acosta throws one in the dirt. A great stop by Medeiros behind the plate, and it holds Jonathan Acosta to first base. He kept that ball in front of him. He's made a couple nice plays today behind the plate. Christopher Medeiros. Acosta takes a look at Acosta at first. Fires a fastball, and it's swung on, and there's a ground ball to the shortstop. Only play he has is the first base, and it's picked by Darian Soto for the third out of the inning. And it's going to be one runner left on base by means of a walk, a strikeout, a ground out, and a fly out for the Killian Cougars. And we'll be right back with more Killian Cougar fall baseball on the Florida Sports Programming Network.
Hit that subscribe button on YouTube and stay tuned for all the highlights and behind-the-scenes action from your Killian Cougars. Let's play ball, Cougars. See you at the game.
Welcome back, everyone, to Killian Cougar Field for some fall baseball between the Cougars of Killian, the home team, and the visiting Golden Hawks of Miami Springs. It's 4-0 in favor of the visiting team. On the mound for his second inning is Ryan Llambas for the Cougars, and that off-speed pitch is taken for a ball by the left fielder, Andres Suarez. Andres reached base twice, once by means of an error and another base hit, and now this is his third at-bat today. Llambas with a fastball that's taken for a strike. The sun is starting to set here at Killian Fields. The shadows are long. It's not as humid as it usually is in the summer. It's a nice breeze, a nice early fall game. Llambas tried to overthrow that one a little bit, and that fastball stayed high. That ball swung on and fouled for strike two. Top of the fifth inning. And that ball slowly hit right to the second baseman, Lucas Alcarte. He fires over to Pops, and that'll be the first out of the inning. A routine ground ball hit right at him, maybe a half a step to his left, able to scoop it up and fire over to first base. And that's 6 batters retired in a row by Llambas. It's going to bring up Taylor Archeta. He's the right fielder for the Golden Hawks. Taylor's coming from the right side. It's righty on righty. That fastball's taken in the dirt. Ryan Yambas is just a sophomore. He's got some mound experience. He'll get some innings this spring. He's already had some innings in the fall. And the Cougars are going to need to rely on him for a few innings. And that ball's hit on a bounce to the shortstop, Acosta. He fires across the pop in time for the second out. We call that a all-county hop. You get enough of those bounces come up to your chest, it'll make you an all-county infielder. Nevertheless, 2 outs here. Top of the 5th inning, and it's just what the doctor ordered for the Cougars. That's going to bring up the right fielder, Spencer Hilton, who struck out and grounded out. Yambas cruising now. Started off with an off-speed pitch low. These Hawks are a very good team from Miami Springs. And that ball is hit into left center field. And that ball's dropped but picked up and thrown to second by Kenry Blanco in the 3rd out. What a throw from Kenry Blanco, who backed up the, I think it was Armando was in left field. That ball got under his glove, but good backup by Kenry Blanco. Fired to second, got the out, got the 3rd out of the inning, and we'll be right back with more Killian Cougar baseball right here on the Florida Sports Programming Network.
Hit that subscribe button on YouTube and stay tuned for all the highlights and behind-the-scenes action from your Killian Cougars. Let's play ball, Cougars. See you at the game.
Welcome back to Killian Cougar Field, everyone, for some fall baseball here on the Florida Sports Programming Network. I'm Uncle Muggs. It's my pleasure to bring you some baseball from Killian Cougar Field. For all the parents and grandmothers and siblings that can't make it to an afternoon game, you can always catch it right here on YouTube. Remember to subscribe and like and help us out if you can. Tell your friends. And we'll keep bringing you this Killian Cougar baseball. Due up for the Cougars here in the bottom half of the 5th inning is the left fielder Armando Vasquez. Jacob Popowski is following him, and then it's Jaden Heron. And if he gets on base, the leadoff batter, Luis Arcarte, will be ready for the Cougars. 4-0. Bottom of the 5th. And we have Josiah Acosta firing for the Hawks. Vasquez takes a fastball, swings at one, I'm sorry. Swings at a fastball from Acosta. And that ball evens the count to 1-1. Vasquez wearing number 0. Takes that one high. Josiah Acosta, he likes to work fast. He gets his sign from Medeiros. He throws one inside for ball 3. Just what you want. You want to try to get your leadoff runner on when you're down 4-0. Give the rest of the lineup a chance to bring you in. That ball's called late by the umpire, a strike, and the count is full to Armando Vasquez, the left fielder for the Cougars. Acosta kicks, and that ball's grounded to third base. Backhanded by Jordi Gonzalez, who fires across the diamond and scooped up by Darian Soto for the 1st out of the inning. 2 good plays there defensively for the Golden Hawks. That ball was well hit down the line by Vasquez. Jordi Gonzalez had to backhand it almost in foul territory and threw a short hop over to Darian Soto, who scooped it up for the 1st out of this 5th inning. It's going to bring up Jacob Popowski. They call him Pops. He takes ball 1. All right, good eye there by Pops. Takes a couple close ones. Swung on a ball way outside. That ball's fouled at the plate. The count's even to 2-2 with 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Jaden Herron's on deck. The right fielder made a couple good throws today from the outfield. Time's called by Pops. He's going to look for a ball that he can drive. He's a big boy. Acosta kicks and an off-speed pitch is taken. The count is full. Acosta fires and that ball's lifted into left field. It's drifting over. It's over by the fence and it falls right by the Florida Sports Programming Network booth here. Fans had to scatter out of the way. Sun is starting to set here at Cougar Field. Three and 2 to Pops. Acosta walks him on a high fastball. And that's just what we needed here. Runner on first. 1 out. Jay Herron's up. Herron from the left side. Pops on first. Jay Herron takes a fastball on the outside corner. Acosta just painted the outside corner. Josiah Acosta, an off-speed pitch, not close. Pops is on first. The seniors at the plate. And he lifts that one foul on the left side for strike 2. Goes out of play. Jaden Herron's the batter. Pops is on first. That ball's taken outside. 2 and 2 to the right fielder, the senior. Pops is on first, not a threat to steal. And that ball's lifted, looped over the second baseman who's going back the short. He's going to drop in for a base hit for the senior right fielder, Jaden Herron. A much needed base hit. Finally puts a runner into scoring position with 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th inning. And now we're going to have a pinch hitter come in for the Cougars in the likes of John Michael Cueto from the left side. So it's a lefty on righty matchup. Josiah Acosta still the pitcher for the Hawks. Jaden's on first. Pops is on second. That off-speed pitch is taken high for ball 1. And if Cueto can get on, it's going to be Luis Arcarte with a chance to get some runs here for the Cougars, some much-needed runs. That fastball is taken for a strike. Acosta confident with that pitch, just rearing back, got his sign from Medeiros and threw it over the plate for a strike. Cougars on first and second. Haven't been able to get anything going here today. An off-speed pitch, and that's taken low and inside. A questionable call there. Wow, I haven't seen him call that one all day, but he wasn't hesitating. He pulled the trigger on Cueto, and now he's in the hole, 1 ball and 2 strikes. The sun is in the first baseman's eyes. Darian Soto, he's shielding it with the glove. Acosta works from the stretch. He kicks and he fires, and that ball's rolled over and hit foul. But staying alive is John Michael Cueto. He's the transfer from Belém, hitting from the left side. Good size frame, wearing number 17. John Michael Cueto. The chance here with one swing of the bat to put the Cougars on the board. And that fastball's taken outside. And the count is 2-2 to John Michael Cueto. You can find Cueto behind the plate sometimes. He'll play first base. He swings a good bat. We're going to need a base hit right here. Josiah Costa fires, and that off-speed pitch is outside. The count's full. Things are getting interesting here now in Cougar Field. This is a gritty Chris Leon team. They're not going to give up. They're going to scratch and claw all the way to the last out, to their last breath. It's just that kind of team. Acosta takes a peek at the runner. He looks again, throws that one, and it's fouled almost in the Hawks' dugout. Cueto was way ahead of that fastball. Again, 4-0. We're in the bottom of the 5th inning. Killian Cougar Field, home of the red bricks behind home plate. Since 1966. Josiah Costa is the Golden Hawks pitcher. Pops is on second, and that one's hit, looped over the second baseman. They're going to send Pops home. That ball's all the way to the corner. Here comes Herden. They're going to wave Herden home. Here he goes. 1 run is scored. The fire home. Herden slides head first, and that's 2 runs for the Cougars on a 2-run double by John Michael Cueto. Just like that, the lead is cut in half. There's still a runner in scoring position for the Cougars. And good hustle by Pops. Good hustle by Heron. And a great hit there by John Michael. And that's going to bring out the head coach for the Golden Hawks, David Fanshaw. And he's going to go out and have a talk to his right-hander, Josiah Costa. I don't see anyone warming up in the Hawks bullpen. But nevertheless, he takes the ball from him, maybe have a position player come out or somebody else from the dugout. But there's going to be a new pitcher for the Golden Hawks here in the bottom of the 4th inning. The hometown Cougars have cut the lead in half. And I think we're going to have the center fielder, Mercado, Justin Mercado is going to come in. Okay, the new pitcher for the Golden Hawks is Roy Don Perez, right-handed pitcher. 1 out with a man on second. He'll be facing Luis Arcarte, followed by David Willis And if they get on, it's going to be Henry Blanco, the senior. So with one out in the bottom of the fifth inning, 2 runs already across the board. A walk to Popowski to Jacob. A base hit by Herden. And then a double by John Michael Cueto gave the Cougars 2 runs here in the bottom of the fifth inning. And now with a man on second, there's a new pitcher for the Hawks. And the left-handed batting Lucas Arcaute is waiting for his chance to maybe get a base hit and bring the Cougars to within 1 run. Josiah pitched fairly good for the Hawks. He had 1 strikeout, walked 1, and gave up a couple hits. Actually, 3 hits. All right, Lucas grounded to second base his first time up. Then he got a base hit. And boy, we need another one here. So the Miami Springs Golden Hawks, they put up 4 runs in the first inning. It's been all goose eggs ever since. John Michael Cueto's on second base. Lucas takes that one for a strike. Bottom of the fifth inning. Killian Cougar Field. 4-2 ball game. This just got interesting. A base hit here will make it very interesting. Roydan Perez is the new pitcher for the Hawks. He kicks and deals and fires a fastball that's high, and it evens the count at 1-1. Perez works quick. He gets a sign from Medeiros. He's from the stretch. The third baseman's even with the bag. And that ball swung on and fouled into the screen. That's going to be strike 2 to Lucas Arcarte. Perez looks into Medeiros, takes a peek at Cueto at second, fires a fastball, and that swung on and looped into left field into short left, and that's going to fall in front of Andres Suarez for a base hit. Cueto's going to go to third, and you're going to have Cougars in the corners, and they're threatening here in the bottom of the fifth. 2-hit day for Lucas Arcarte. He's going to bring up the DH, David Builes, and he's batting for the catcher Phoenix. Flied out to shortstop, flied out to left field. Let's see if Chris Leon puts the runners in motion here. Arcarte takes a big lead, and that's taken for a strike. 1 out in the bottom of the fifth. Cougars in the corners. Killian is threatening here. Builes looks over, takes his sign from Coach Eric Martinez. Lucas is on first. And he stays, and that ball's hit to first base. It's gloved by the first baseman, Soto, who comes back to the bag and takes it himself. But nevertheless, Cueto comes across to score. Runner goes to second. There's 2 outs, and we have a one-run ball game here at Killian Cougar Field. And it's going to bring up the veteran center fielder. And who else to have up here? Who else would you rather have than the team batting average leader, home run leader? Last year's junior, as a junior, led the team in almost every offensive category. He even had a save. I'm talking about Henry Blanco. Henry takes that off-speed pitch outside for ball 1. base hit here could tie it up for the Cougars. Roydan Perez has given up a couple hits here. He's walked the batter. And that pitch to Blanco's inside and low for a ball. Not the way you want to start. But maybe he's hesitant. He doesn't want to throw Blanco anything over the plate where he can hit one out of the ballpark. Finally, a strike taken. Blanco not too happy with that call. 2 outs here at the bottom of the 5th inning. Jonathan Acosta's on deck. He's walked twice, had an RBI in Monday's game. Another fastball taken by the veteran center fielder, the senior, Kenry Blanco. 2 outs, 2 strikes, 2 balls, down by 1, bottom of the 5th inning here at Killian Cougar Field. Roydan Perez is pitching for the Hawks. He fires that in the dirt, a check swing, and it gets by the catcher, Medeiros. He's going to fire to first, but it's not going to be in time. It goes over the first baseman. That's going to score. We have a tie game, and there goes Blanco. Look at his speed. He's going to go all the way to third base, and the Cougars caught a big break there. That was a strikeout. He swung in the dirt. Wait, the umpire's calling him back to the plate. Let's see if we can get some clarification here, folks. They're saying that Henry didn't swing. That's going to make it a 1-ball. So after all that running around, Cueto's going to go back to second. Henry's going to come back up. The umpire says he checked his swing. Everyone here thought he swung and it was a strikeout. The catcher threw it into right field. Kendry got on his horse, ran all the way to third. Cueto scored from second. And now we're going to have to do it all over again. We're going to take a run off the board. Actually, they're going to let that run stand. Because if he didn't swing, then it was a pass ball, and we do have a tie game. And, you know, just to put some icing on the cake, you know, it'd be nice here. A Kenry Blanco walk-off home run right here would be excellent. The 1-ball, 2-strike count to the senior, and now that's a strikeout, and that's going to strike out the side. But not before your hometown Killian Cougars tie it here in the bottom of the 5th inning behind a key double by John Michael Cueto, a base hit by Jaden, a base hit by Lucas, and a check swing. And that's it. We're going to call it. That's going to be the ball game, folks. We're lining up for a tie game. A great comeback here in the last inning from your Killian Cougars. I wish we would have played another one, but they're calling the game here. We're going to shake hands. We're going to say goodbye to the Golden Hawks. We're going to I don't know what you call this when you tie in a baseball game. It seems like this is a hockey game now, but that's the way it is in the fall. You run out of time and you run out of game. So the Killian Cougars have 3 wins, 2 losses, and 1 tie. And we'll see you again next week with more Killian Cougar fall baseball here on the Florida Sports Programming Network.